Hello, fellow RPG geeks. This is Tim, SamY7, and I want to talk a little bit about politics, religion, and role-playing games. Now, this you might think, oh crap, I don't really want to watch this video, but I guess what I'm trying to say, or I want to talk about, is how very different people can sit down and play a game without any of the things that normally divide people coming up. There are people that have, depending on what sort of classification you want to use, left, right, up, down, I don't, uh, what sort of religion you believe in, what sort of political party you're affiliated with, whatever ideas you have that aren't very popular or aren't very popular in certain circles. Whatever the case may be, I think with role-playing games, we should be able to come together. Now, in games, I've had to tell people, okay, let's not have a discussion about politics at the table because, one, you're going to anger certain people, and you might fracture the group. So there's always kind of a little thing saying, don't talk about religion, don't talk about politics, don't talk about whatever else you think would be bad for the group to stay as a whole. I'm not saying you can't have different opinions. In fact, I'm all for that. I live in America, and I believe, we should have we have freedom of thought, freedom of speech, all of that stuff. So I have opinions. Some of them are very strong, and I'm not really going to bring that to the table. I'm not going to bring that up in game or in out of character discussions when we're supposed to be role playing. Now, table talk is great. You talk about, your family, whatever. I've noticed in all of my groups, I had a Monday group for roughly 8 years, I think, and it's still going on without me. But in the Monday group, we noticed that there was always a lot of table talk at the beginning of the session, beginning of the start time. And we kind of just went with that. After a while, we tried to cap it at a half an hour or 45 minutes. Sometimes it went to an hour. But that's great. It's a social game. Feel free to discuss things, about your life, work sucked today, whatever the case may be. But I guess it's hard to express, I think. I think people can come from all walks of life, sit down and play a game where they play fictional characters. And if you can't really put aside your own personal beliefs and thoughts about, diversive, or I'm not too good with words sometimes. If you can't put aside your own personal, philosophies for 4 hours at a time, do you really need to bring to the table all the time? So try to be nice to each other. Depending, if there's someone across the table that believes something and they believe something that's like 180 degrees away from what you believe, don't bring it up because it's just going to cause a fight. So if you're going to sit around a table and play a game, enjoy the game. I think that's what's great about games. People from all varying walks of life, philosophies, whatever the case may be, they can sit down and play a game together. And I think that should be the goal, to sit down and have fun, to forget about real life, all your problems. And I think most of us have a few problems. Maybe I have more than most, or I guess there's always something that's a little bit worse off than you. But when you're playing a game, try to forget real life for a while. Isn't that why we're doing it? To forget ourselves and to play, that character that you can immerse yourself in, that you kind of forget, the four walls and the ceiling, and just try to imagine what's going on, to use our creativity And I think that's really a positive thing that, some people say like music can bring people together. Well, I think role-playing games can bring people together. And just try not to bring up, topics that are going to cause problems. So there's groups out there that, sometimes it's fairly obvious to figure out what people think. Some people are more vocal about it. I'm not always vocal about my opinions, but, I still have them. I just think that when we're sitting down at the table, can't everyone just get along? Try to put away your personal opinions of other people and just try to have fun. If you find yourself always arguing with the same person, in character, and you also have disagreements with them as a person, maybe you need to look at that. Maybe you need to sit down and think, okay, I have issues with this guy. I'm going to try to tone it down a little bit. Because in the end, we have to get along to play a game. It's a social game. There are solo adventures out there, but for me, I might as well. I don't know. To me, it seems like it's a waste of time. Same thing with I really can't play video games anymore. I used to play video games, but after a while, I was just sitting there by myself. It's like, do I really want to spend my time doing this? Don't I want to interact with people? And I think, again, the social interaction is one of the things that I really look forward to in my games. So just get along, enjoy yourselves, play a game. If you want to talk about serious topics, maybe do it at another time. When I always talk about serious topics outside of the game at another time, I always say, if we start yelling at each other, maybe we should just, relax, calm down, agree to disagree. Some people love to have debates. I don't think the gaming table is the best place, is the best forum for that. Maybe at a coffee shop you can go sit down with one of the gamers if you really want to have a political discussion or a religious discussion. So just get along, have fun. All right, I'll talk to you later.